Luna says that there's an announcement coming. What's the announcement? There's going to be an announcement? Is this another one of those hype it up, something's coming? And then everybody's like, what's the announcement? It could be this, it could be that, it could be this, it could be that. And then it's just like, people have seen things in the water. It's official. Let's play the clip, and then we'll see if there's anything to it at all. Here, check this out.
Do you know something that has not been released? Do you know things that you feel the American people should know?
There will be an announcement soon on one other kind of factor to all this, but it's nothing that I think it'll just be kind of give the assurance that people will understand that the phenomenon is real. But no, I mean, for the most part, everything that we have been able to discuss in a skiff, we can now talk about publicly. And what I will say is, without a doubt, the phenomenon is real. The phenomenon is real. And so,
are you leaning one way or another, foreign or not earthly?
I think when you talk about these things, I don't want to say not earthly because we don't know
Yeah,
if
okay.
they're here or not. But what I would say is that energy is real. And a lot of these, you can see in some of them orbs, you can't explain it. And so I think that gets into a deeper discussion. But when you were talking about this, when I first started kind of on this journey with Representative Burleson and Representative Burchett, Representative Jared Moskowitz and Representative Gates, a lot of people said, you are going to ruin your career over this. It is one of the most widely questioned things now. And I think this gets into a deeper issue of, do you think that we're the only, are you?
So that's what I was going to ask you. Instead of saying, do you know something? Let me say this. Is this a defense or is this a spiritual question? Which is the bigger question? Defense or philosophical spiritual?
With pin on, defense and national security.
Okay.
With pin off, I think.
What is pin on, pin off? Oh, okay. Okay.
Pin on and off.
The ring. Okay, I got it.
Yeah, pin off, I think that it really kind of make people ask the fundamental question of, do you believe that first of all, do you believe in God or not? And then, do you believe that we're the only creation?
I don't understand.
Not speculating on nefarious or
bad. I don't understand how people are saying that this is going to make everybody question their faith. It's not going to. If I find out that there are other beings, why would it question?
Glenn,
why would it question
all,
faith?
There was a group of pastors. I don't even know who these pastors are that said that they had been briefed, and that was wholeheartedly not true. And Eric Burleson put out a statement to actually say, I don't know why my comments are being taken out of context. I think a lot of people that knew the phenomenon was real, and I'm not saying that these pastors do this, but what I am saying is we have come across people in our investigations that were knowingly planting false information to discredit it, that were then stonewalling obstructive people that have lied. I mean, if you've seen it on Reddit,
from inside the house, from inside the government,
all over. People within the sector on UAP investigations, people within the chambers and intelligence, etc. The former director of Arrow very famously attacked our witnesses and us. And then the new director of Arrow is 180 different and has actually been doing an incredible job.
Okay, so a good clip where Luna's talking about certain things that, look, there's a lot to kind of break down there. The first is starting with the announcement itself. It's like, what is the announcement? She says it's not going to be anything except really letting people know that the phenomenon is real. And I can tell you the phenomenon is real. Everybody kind of knows, for the most part, like, the phenomenon is real. I mean, I guess there's a lot of people who still think that it's just balloons or whatever. But the phenomenon is real is still fairly vague. If you say the announcement coming out will convince people that the phenomenon is real. Well, like, what does that mean? Right? Like, it's still vague. And then they started to ask a little bit more about what she meant by that. Do you think it's other countries or otherworldly? And then she, again, stayed vague. But if you listen to her enough, you kind of know what she's saying. She's like, well, I'm not going to say not from Earth because I don't really know what the things are. She has said many times over she believes it's interdimensional. She's talked about that. And then talking about different technologies and things that are out there and energy, as she mentioned. So is that some of the information that's going to come out inside of this announcement? That these things could potentially, that they're going to definitively say that these things are not from other countries and that it is a real phenomenon that we just don't know what it is, and there have been things that have been captured, or rather reverse engineered, and all those types of things. Possible. The other side of it is where you can see where she said, people said this is going to ruin your career. It's actually enhanced her career. It's put her in the forefront. Her, Burleson, Burchett, and this is what I think a lot of people didn't realize, and I think that they did realize this. And I've said this before. This is not that they're not passionate about the subject. Clearly they are. But when you're a politician, you play the game that's going to get you the most notice. And it could be within a subject matter that you're very passionate about. So they started to talk about this. They started to try to get to the bottom of it. And when they started to see the embracing that they were getting from the UAP community and other people, they kind of dug their heels in and did it more. So I think it became beneficial. I mean, you look at who had really heard about Burleson. Burchett is still out there, but he's primarily Burchett, Burleson, Luna are primarily known in the biggest circles for this topic, because this is they advocate for it a lot. Moskowitz is another one. I didn't know Moskowitz's name before this one. I mean, Schumer, obviously, that he with or without the UAP topic, people knew his name. But my point is that they are, and they have elevated their careers from doing this, and even so, because the president had said that he wants to venture down and release everything. So obviously the people who have been running this and going after this are going to benefit from it. So the idea of what else comes from, and the religious aspect of it, we've talked about this at great length as far as why people's faith could be tested, because I think that you can't definitively say that it would be, and you can't definitively say that it wouldn't be. Because even Glenn Beck, when he's talking, he's like, "Well, why would my faith be questioned?" You don't know what the answer is. You never, you can never say, "Well, of course I wouldn't test my faith." You don't know what the answer is. If the answer is, here are these beings that were also created by another entity and brought here, and they are also trying to figure out how they got here, but they've been here, or whatever it was, then your faith isn't going to get tested. Again, it's like Disclosure Day. God created everything, everywhere, galaxies away. Sure. But the other side of it, as I've mentioned before in videos, let's say that the answer is, we found out through other dimensions or whatever it is that these things have been here and traveling back and forth in building time, put us here, created us in a lab, right? Put us here, and they created us in one and been watching us like creators over pets. That wouldn't question your faith? If you found out that what you were told and how you were created wasn't true, that you're a lab rat, a lab animal, your faith would be tested. Again, I don't know what the answer is. I got no idea. Haven't heard any announcements. Heard a billion different theories. But definitively saying yes, no, it's too hard to do. There's too many variables. There's too many options to say it. And you've heard people saying, if you really knew the truth, you wouldn't be able to sleep. Again, I don't know if that's true. I could see that if it's a crazy enough answer, that might be true. So there's just a lot to it. But when it comes to the actual announcement of what Luna's talking about, I think I've just been burned too many times with this topic to say, all right, guys, this big announcement's coming. This could be the one that changes everything. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think it's going to be? Most likely it's just going to be something we talk about. Oh, okay, interesting enough. They're going to do more breakdowns of other videos or this or that. Changing the game, I don't know. But what I will say before we go is I want to play this clip. Something that was Hal Puthoff and Avi Loeb talking about. I think our good buddy Pavel reposted this. Let me play this, and then we'll talk about it because it kind of ties into everything. Is maybe with an announcement coming or the potential disclosure. Check it out.
Instead of building distrust and saying the other side is trying to hide things, I feel from speaking to them that they're really baffled, that they don't understand what these things are.
I'm not sure that they actually have the answers either.
Not a fan of history.
Better to just put the past behind us.
Rather than obsessing with the past and trying to blame bureaucrats for being gatekeepers. Instead, what I see is a lot of people grudgy about the past and worrying about... Yeah. Instead of that, let's celebrate the moment and move forward in a more ambitious way.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Tap this moment.
Yes,
we should celebrate. I always believe the future can be better. I think the future can be better than the past. You believe that the future will be better. You can make it better.
I think for the future to be better, we have to learn from the sins of our past. Myself and I'm sure many others fear that the governance board and council will be a repeat of the 1953 Robertson panel.
But that's why this new approach, I think, really is a fresh approach. This is not a put-up job to get another way of shoveling it all under the table.
And I will not realize that it's a setup. I will.
Yeah, so I think this is the real deal. Way to go. Hopefully, you won't have to deal with the legacy program.
People will look back and say, "This is when it all began."
A summary of what Hal just said is, the future can be better than the past. Let's make it better.
And the post here from Dr. Dan says, for this clip, is disclosure may be arriving with one condition. Don't ask too much about what came before it. Why are Avi Loeb and Hal Putnam so protective of the past? Fantastic question. Because the amount of cuts of getting it almost sounds like that was the directive, right? It was, hey, listen, if we're the whole point of this is that we'll get the information out, but people got to be protected. They were doing what they were supposed to be doing. They were doing what they were told to do. They've been protecting for so long. We know we can't keep the secret quiet anymore. There's too much pressure. There's too many people. We're going to make the announcement. But we got to try to protect those people beforehand, too. Let's just move forward. Let's not go after them. That's how we can make the agreement of we'll give you what we got, but we can't prosecute people. We can't do that. And maybe that's what's building behind the scenes, because I've heard Hal put up beforehand on Rogan, I think, talking about how the amount of people that could get in trouble and things that could happen about cover-ups and all that. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. You think about the 70, 80 plus years that the thing's been covered up, that, a lot of people could go to jail. I don't think it's that easy to say, let's just forget about it. We got to move forward. We can't worry about the past. Yeah, you got to worry about the past, because it's like you have to say, well, what was protected? Who was protecting it? Why were they protecting it? What else do they know? You can't just say, let's just worry about what's going on now. That's horseshit. Can't do that. So is this part of that announcement that Luna's talking about? Is this part of the thing? I've always talked about this moment that you will never see. And it's the moment of whoever is like in the movie version of this, whoever the Colin Firth Disclosure Day person is, who now today is running all the secrets and coordinating everything, and out of a range of people, long line of people that have been doing it for so long, that this person is the person in charge. What are they feeling like right now? Are they feeling like, nothing's really going to come of this? It's the same thing that's always been. We have enough people. We have enough puppets. It's going to be quiet. We have enough people in the Senate to shoot down bills and shoot down things and quiet people up and push people in another direction. Or is this finally like, look, this is where we're going to probably have, we knew this day was coming. We're going to have to finally concede. And, we're just going to bend the knee here. But let's protect our people. Who knows? Maybe it's all bullshit. I don't know. I don't know. But we'll see what's going to happen when it comes to the announcements. Will there be something big with this announcement? Time will tell. Guys, have a great weekend. Enjoy your 4th. If you're not here, enjoy your weekend anyway. Appreciate it. See you guys on the flip side.